Your life changes the moment you stop performing for the world and start performing for your own future. Most people break not because life is hard, but because they keep chasing approval instead of purpose. They wait for a sign. They wait for validation. They wait for someone to notice. Real transformation begins the moment you say, enough. Enough pleasing. Enough pretending. Enough shrinking. This is your life. This is the moment you take it back. Welcome to bottom of the pyramid, the journey from overlooked to unstoppable. Here on Bookverse, we explore powerful self-help book summaries. We break ideas into actionable lessons. If you want to transform your life, watch, like, and subscribe. Chapter 1. Stop waiting for permission. Most people pause their dreams because they think someone must approve their next move. They wait for a sign. They wait for a nod. They wait for someone to notice. They think the world owes them permission. It does not. Not a single person does. You have a choice. Boys. You can wait or you can act. You can pause or you can begin. You can shrink or you can rise. It is simple, yet few understand this. That is why most dreams die quietly. Let us be honest. Waiting feels safe. Waiting feels comfortable. Waiting feels polite. You tell yourself, I will start when I have approval. You say, I will act when someone says yes. The truth is, approval is a mirage. It does not exist for the dreamers. It never arrives for the brave. I want you to think about people who succeeded, people who transformed, people who became unstoppable. Did they wait for permission? Never. They started with what they had. They started where they were. They started alone, uncertain, and often afraid. You do not need permission to begin. Say it again. Say it aloud. You do not need permission to begin. This is not just a sentence. It is a rule for life. Repeat it every morning. Repeat it before every decision. Repeat it until it becomes truth. Look at the story of Maya. She wanted to dance professionally. Her teachers said no. Her friends laughed. Her family suggested something safer. Most people would quit. Most people would wait for validation. Most people would settle. But Maya acted anyway. She danced in empty studios. She posted her performances online. She created her own stage. Slowly, the world noticed. Slowly, doors opened. She did not wait. She did not beg. She did not ask permission. She claimed her moment. This is the first lesson. Waiting kills momentum. Waiting kills ideas. Waiting kills your chance. You can sit and wonder, or you can rise and act. You can pause and hope, or you can take control. The choice is yours. Let me be very clear. You do not need approval from anyone. Not a boss. Not a parent. Not a teacher. Not your friends. Not society. You do not need their permission to move forward. You do not need their blessing to begin. You do not need their validation to act. That is the key. It is not about who says yes. It is about who decides yes. You are the one who decides. You are the one who acts. You are the one who starts. Every day, you have the opportunity to act. Every day, you have the chance to move forward. Every day, you can take one small step. One action. One choice. One commitment. It may feel small. It may feel insignificant. It is not. Small steps build momentum. Small steps build courage. Small steps build your future. Let me tell you another story. A man named Raj. He worked at a job he hated. He dreamed of creating art. He waited. He waited for a promotion. He waited for someone to say, now is the right time. Years passed. Nothing changed. One morning he said enough. Enough waiting. Enough hesitation. Enough fear. He took his savings. He rented a small studio. He started painting. He posted his work online. He reached out to galleries. Slowly, doors opened. Slowly, recognition came. Raj succeeded because he started without permission. He acted without waiting. He chose himself. Do you see the pattern? Waiting is the enemy. Action is the ally. Permission is a trap. Choice is the weapon. You have a choice. I will repeat this phrase again and again. You have a choice to wait or to act. You have a choice to pause or to move. You have a choice to obey others or to lead yourself. That is the key. That is the difference between mediocrity and mastery. That is the difference between dreams that die and dreams that live. Now, let us break down why waiting feels so natural. It feels safe because you blame others. It feels safe because you hope for approval. It feels safe because action requires courage. Courage is uncomfortable. Courage asks questions. Courage asks for failure. Courage asks for mistakes. Most people avoid it. Most people choose safety. Most people choose stagnation. But you are not most people. You have the power to act now. You have the ability to move today. You have the right to choose your path. Here is a concrete action step. Start today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. Take what you have. Take where you are. Take the smallest resource, the smallest idea, the smallest skill, and begin. Post a video. Write a paragraph. Make a call. Draw a line. Take a step. Just begin. It is not about the scale of your start. It is about the courage to start. Small steps compound. Small actions snowball. Small beginnings create unstoppable momentum. Let us repeat it again. You do not need permission. You do not need validation. You do not need approval. You do not need recognition. You only need one thing. Action. You only need one person. Yourself. You will face resistance. You will feel doubt. You will hear no. You will see failure. All of that is normal. That is expected. That is required. Resistance proves you are moving. Doubt proves you are trying. No proves you are testing. Failure proves you are learning. Every obstacle is a signal, not a verdict. Every barrier is a challenge, not a punishment. Every rejection is feedback, not failure. Let me emphasize repetition, because repetition builds muscle. You do not need permission. You do not need permission. You do not need permission. Say it until you believe it. Say it until it guides your action. Say it until it drives your choices. Here is a truth most people will never tell you. Waiting is the silent killer of dreams. While you wait for someone else, life moves forward. Opportunities pass. Skills decay. Courage fades. Potential is lost. Do not let this happen to you. Not one more day. Not one more hour. Not one more minute. Look at your life. Look at your dreams. Look at your goals. Are you waiting? Are you hesitating? Are you shrinking? Say enough. Say it now. Enough waiting. Enough hesitation. Enough shrinking. This is your life. This is your moment. This is your choice. Now take a step. Take one action today. One small act that moves you forward. One act that chooses you over fear. One act that declares your dreams matter. Do not wait. Do not pause. Do not shrink. Start now. Start today. Start unapologetically. Remember the mantra. You do not need permission to begin. Repeat it every morning. Repeat it every hour. Repeat it every time you doubt yourself. It will change your mindset. It will change your choices. It will change your life. Let us close this chapter with clarity. You have a choice. The world does not decide for you. The world does not validate you. The world does not control you. You control you. You decide today. You act today. You own today. Take the first step. Build momentum. Refuse to wait. Refuse to beg. Refuse to shrink. This is the power of action without permission. This is the foundation of a life that is unstoppable. This is your first move toward becoming the person no one can ignore. And now, remember, in this channel, Bookverse, we explore life-changing self-help books in this style. We guide you, challenge you, and give you the tools to transform your life. If you want more lessons like this, click like and subscribe, because every chapter here will teach you how to master yourself and your destiny. You do not need permission to begin. You do not need permission to begin. You do not need permission to begin. Now, take your first step. Your life waits for no one. Chapter 2. Pain is your first teacher. Pain is part of life. It comes. It hits. It stays. You cannot avoid it. You cannot escape it. You cannot ignore it. Most people run. Most people numb themselves. Most people blame others. They call it bad luck. They call it injustice. They call it life. But pain is not the enemy. Pain is the first teacher. Pain is the data. Pain is the direction. Think about it. Every wound you felt as a child. Every rejection you faced as a teen. Every failure you suffered as an adult. Each of those moments was a lesson. Each of those moments was an opportunity. Each of those moments was a signal for growth. You have a choice. You can let pain break you, or you can let it build you. You can let it crush you, or you can let it guide you. That is the key. You choose your response. You decide your path. You turn wounds into wisdom. Let me tell you about Ravi. He grew up in a home filled with criticism. Every achievement was never enough. Every effort was always questioned. Every dream was pushed aside. Most kids in his shoes would shrink. Most kids would hide. Most kids would forget their ambitions. Ravi chose differently. He listened to the pain. He examined the words. He felt the hurt. Then he asked a question. What is this trying to teach me? Every insult, every dismissal, every rejection became a blueprint. Every negative comment became motivation. Every closed door became direction. Pain is data. Pain is direction. Repeat it. Let it sink. Repeat it until it becomes part of your mind. Repeat it every time you feel hurt, rejected, or judged. Pain is not punishment. Pain is instruction. Pain is a map for your next move. Consider your own life. How many times have you felt ignored? How many times have you felt inadequate? How many times have you felt the sting of rejection? Most people run from these moments. Most people hide. Most people wish it would disappear. You do not. You do not hide. You do not wish. You do not run. You face it. You feel it. You analyze it. You convert it. You transform it. The chapter is clear. Stop avoiding emotional wounds. Stop pretending they are meaningless. Stop thinking pain is weakness. Pain is not weakness. Pain is a teacher. Pain is your first instructor. Pain is your compass. Let me explain how this works. When you get rejected, your mind screams, I am not enough. When you fail, your body feels shame, your heart feels heavy. When you are ignored, your ego wants to lash out. Do not run. Do not lash out. Do not numb yourself. Sit with the feeling. Observe it. Question it. Learn from it. Every emotion holds information. Every sting carries guidance. Every setback is a signal. You have a choice. You can see pain as suffering, or you can see pain as insight. You can see pain as an obstacle, or you can see pain as opportunity. That is the key. That is the power. That is the moment you decide who you become. Real transformation begins when you stop blaming the world. You stop asking, "Why me?" You stop saying it is unfair. You stop wishing things were different. Instead, you say, "I see this. I feel this. I learn from this. I will let this pain build me. I will let this experience guide me. I will let this setback teach me." Stories of successful people are full of pain. They grew stronger because of it, not in spite of it. Serena was told she could never compete. Every coach doubted her. Every opponent underestimated her. She did not give up. She did not complain. She did not quit. She trained harder. She learned faster. She grew stronger. She let the pain guide her path. And now she dominates her field. Pain is data. Pain is direction. Let us repeat it. Let us ingrain it. Pain is data. Pain is direction. Pain is data. Pain is direction. Do you see the pattern? Every setback is information. Every rejection is a lesson. Every criticism is a roadmap. Use it. Study it. Apply it. Transform it. Do not let pain paralyze you. Do not let it control you. Let it instruct you. Let it fuel you. Let it guide you. Here is an exercise. Think about the last time you were hurt. The last time you failed. The last time someone doubted you. Write down the lesson. Write down the message. Write down the direction. What is it telling you? What does it teach you about yourself? What can you do differently? Every pain contains a choice. Every wound contains an opportunity. Every failure contains a next step. Most people ignore this. Most people cry, complain, or curse. You do not. You have a choice. You have awareness. You have power. You can see pain clearly. You can see the signal. You can see the path forward. Let us talk about identity. Pain shapes it. When you face rejection, you discover what you value. When you face criticism, you discover who you are. When you face loss, you discover what you will fight for. You are not your wounds. You are not your failures. You are not your pain. You are the person who learns from them. You are the person who transforms them. You are the person who grows through them. Discipline is born here. Resilience is forged here. Courage is cultivated here. Every time you confront discomfort, you strengthen your mind. Every time you embrace the lesson in hurt, you build your character. Pain is the teacher. You are the student. Growth is the result. Let us repeat it again. Pain is data. Pain is direction. Pain is data. Pain is direction. Say it until it becomes a rule. Say it until it becomes instinct. Say it until it guides every decision. Do not confuse this with suffering. You do not glorify pain. You do not chase pain. You observe it. You understand it. You convert it. You leverage it. Pain is fuel. Pain is insight. Pain is information. Pain is opportunity. Here is another story. A woman named Layla. She was bullied as a child. Teachers ignored her. Friends laughed. Strangers judged. Most would shrink. Most would retreat. Most would quit. Layla learned. She observed. She practiced. She trained her mind to use pain as energy. She built skills from criticism. She created opportunities from rejection. Years later, she became a public speaker. She inspires thousands. She owes her path to the lessons of pain, not the absence of it. You see the truth? Pain is not punishment. Pain is preparation. Pain is not the end. Pain is the beginning. You have a choice. You can see life as unfair, or you can see life as a teacher. You can see setbacks as failure, or you can see them as data. You can see wounds as damage, or you can see them as direction. That is the key. That is the moment that separates the people who succeed from the people who wait. That is the moment that separates the powerful from the passive. Repeat after me. Pain is data. Pain is direction. Pain is data. Let it echo in your mind. Let it guide your steps. Let it shape your actions. Action step. When you face hurt today, pause. Feel it. Write down the lesson. Take one small action based on the insight. Move forward. Do not shrink. Do not avoid. Do not waste the signal. This is your first lesson in transformation. This is the way to grow through adversity. This is the foundation of mastery. Your pain is your map. Your struggles are your guide. Your failures are your compass. Chapter 3. Do not perform. Transform. You cannot build confidence by chasing applause. You cannot grow by seeking approval. Every time you perform for others, you shrink. You give your power away. You measure your worth by external eyes. That is not strength. That is dependence. Real confidence comes from within. It comes from work done when no one is watching. It comes from consistency. It comes from mastering yourself before you try to impress others. Stop seeking cheers. Stop waiting for nods. Stop bending to fit expectations that are not yours. You have a choice. You can perform to be seen, or you can transform to be unshakable. That is the key. Look at people who chase applause. They are exhausted. They are anxious. They are hollow. Every compliment is temporary. Every approval is fleeting. They have not built roots, only smoke. Now look at people who transform. They are calm. They are steady. They are respected. They do not seek validation. They create it by their presence. They are unshakable because they are prepared. It is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters. It is not about being noticed. It is about being consistent. It is not about perfection. It is about discipline. You do not need anyone to approve your effort. You do not need a crowd to validate your struggle. You do not need applause to continue. Let us break this down into real-life lessons. Lesson 1. Stop performing for approval. Notice every time you act to impress. Notice every time you say yes when you want to say no. Notice every time you smile when you feel anger. These are performances. You are bending for someone else. You are shrinking. This stops now. You have a choice. You can obey every expectation, or you can honor yourself. That is the key. Action step. Track 1 week of your behaviors. Write down when you perform to gain approval. Mark every yes that was uncomfortable. Mark every praise you sought. You will see patterns. You will see wasted energy. You will see where transformation begins. You do not need their permission to say no. You do not need their applause to move forward. You do not need their nod to validate your effort. Lesson 2. Build yourself, not a show. Confidence is invisible to the untrained eye. It is quiet. It is earned. It is earned in the hours when no one notices. It is earned in practice, repetition, and relentless work. Think about athletes. They do not perform only on game day. They train every day. They sweat when the stands are empty. They push through pain when no one watches. Their confidence comes from preparation, not approval. You can do the same. Do the work that matters. Do the work even when ignored. Do the work even when unseen. You do not perform. You transform. Repetition. Stop entertaining. Start evolving. Stop entertaining. Start evolving. Every morning, ask yourself, am I doing this to impress someone? Or am I doing this to improve myself? The answer will guide your actions. If you are performing, stop. If you are transforming, keep going. Lesson 3. The danger of overperforming. Overperforming feels productive. Overperforming feels impressive. Overperforming is addictive. It is addictive because it brings temporary approval. Temporary approval is poison. It teaches you to depend on others for self-worth. It teaches you to hide your doubts behind action. It teaches you to ignore your own needs. Examples from real life. A student who always raised their hand, always volunteered, always smiled, but inside felt worthless. A young professional who stayed late, took extra work, said yes to every task, but lost confidence in their ideas. A friend who always hosted events, always entertained, always listened, but felt empty and unseen. All of them performed. All of them sought approval. All of them forgot the most important person, themselves. You do not need to be the loudest, the most visible, or the most liked. You do not need to perform. You need to transform. Lesson 4. Transform your mindset. Transformation begins in your thoughts. Stop thinking in terms of applause. Stop measuring your worth by reactions. Stop framing your life around external approval. Instead, think in terms of growth. Think in terms of skill. Think in terms of self-mastery. Think, am I improving? Am I learning? Am I preparing? Repeat to yourself. Stop entertaining. Start evolving. Stop performing for others. Start performing for yourself. The mind is the battlefield. If your mind is trained for approval, you lose. If your mind is trained for transformation, you win. Every action must reflect your growth. Every choice must reflect your discipline. Every day must be designed to move you forward. Lesson 5. Habits of transforming people. Transformers do not wait for applause. They do not crave recognition. They have a routine. They work in silence. They journal. They plan. They exercise. They reflect. They measure progress, not praise. They measure improvement, not attention. They measure consistency, not validation. This is how they become unstoppable. This is how they gain real power. You can copy this. Start small. One silent action per day. One choice for yourself. One habit that does not need approval. Repeat. Repeat again. Repeat until you are unshakable. Lesson 6. Action steps for transformation. Identify performances. Track moments when you act to be noticed. Circle them. Mark them. Understand where you give away power. Practice silence. Do something meaningful without telling anyone. Improve. Do not post it. Do not share it. Let results speak silently. Set growth goals. Replace approval goals with growth goals. Instead of asking, did they notice me? Ask, did I get better today? Reframe feedback. When ignored or rejected, see it as data, not judgment, not failure. Feedback guides transformation. Daily affirmations. Say aloud, I do not perform. I transform. Repeat morning and night. Repeat when anxiety to perform strikes. Lesson 7. Real examples of transformation. Consider a young woman in corporate work. She used to overperform for praise. She stayed late. She volunteered endlessly. She presented first in every meeting. Inside, she was exhausted. Her confidence was fake. Her ideas were ignored because she chased applause, not clarity. Then she stopped. She set boundaries. She focused on her work only. She improved her skills quietly. She measured success by results, not reactions. Soon, her influence grew. Her ideas were recognized. Her confidence was genuine. She became unshakable. Another example, an artist who performed for likes. Every post, every video, every piece was for recognition. Yet they felt empty. When they stopped performing and focused on practice, their skill exploded. Their reputation followed naturally. They no longer needed approval. They transformed. Lesson 8. Common mistakes to avoid. Waiting for approval. Chasing applause. Measuring self-worth by reactions. Hiding flaws behind action. Performing instead of training. Avoid these traps. Replace them with discipline. Replace them with focus. Replace them with transformation. You have a choice. Perform and remain fragile. Or transform and become unshakable. That is the key. Lesson 9. The power of repetition. Repeat your mantra daily. Stop entertaining. Start evolving. Every time anxiety to perform strikes, repeat it. Every time you feel unseen, repeat it. Every time you crave praise, repeat it. The mind remembers repetition. The body obeys repetition. Your life changes when repetition becomes habit. You do not need their nod. You do not need their attention. You do not need their applause. You need your own consistency. You need your own discipline. You need your own transformation. Lesson 10. Internalize the lesson. Transformation is not flashy. It is invisible. It is quiet. It is continuous. It is daily work. It is not about proving anything. It is about becoming something. It is not about performing. It is about evolving. It is not about seeking applause. It is about building resilience, skill, and confidence. Stop performing. Start transforming. Do it daily. Do it consistently. Do it relentlessly. This is the way forward. Chapter 4. The bottom is where you learn balance. Being at the bottom is not a punishment. It is an opportunity. An opportunity to see clearly, to feel deeply, and to understand life in a way the top can never teach. Most people fear the bottom. They run from it. They pretend it does not exist. But the truth is, the bottom is where clarity is born. The bottom is where strength grows. The bottom is where balance is learned. You have a choice. You can see being at the bottom as failure, or you can see it as a classroom. That is the key. This chapter is about learning from the lowest points in life and using that knowledge to rise stronger. 1. Humility comes from hitting the floor. When you are at the bottom, ego stops mattering. You cannot pretend. You cannot posture. The world does not care about your excuses. Your friends do not care about your fears. Your family does not fix your mistakes. You are alone with reality. That is when humility is taught. Humility is not weakness. It is understanding your limits. It is seeing your flaws without shame. It is facing the truth and still standing. You have a choice. You can let the fall break you, or you can let it teach you. Most people do not understand humility. They chase pride instead. They chase recognition. But recognition is fragile. Pride is temporary. Humility is permanent. It shapes your character. It strengthens your decisions. It prepares you for real success. Remember this mantra. The bottom is not a curse. It is a classroom. 2. Strength is built in adversity. Balance is not about comfort. Balance is about surviving chaos. When you are at the bottom, you are forced to fight. You are forced to dig. You are forced to find a way forward when everything seems lost. That is how strength is built. Strength does not come from applause. It does not come from approval. It does not come from recognition. Strength comes from struggle. Strength comes from rising when nobody is watching. Strength comes from mastering the fight inside yourself. Consider this. When you hit rock bottom, your options vanish. You either stay there or you rise. There is no middle ground. That is why the bottom is essential. It forces clarity. It forces discipline. It forces action. You have a choice. You can complain, or you can build. You can collapse, or you can rise. Do not fear adversity. Embrace it. It is a teacher disguised as hardship. 3. Clarity is the gift of the bottom. At the top, the world distracts you. People tell you what you want to hear. You chase status, not truth. At the bottom, all illusions disappear. There is no hiding. There is no crowd to impress. There is no mask to wear. You are left with yourself. And in that solitude, clarity emerges. You see your mistakes. You see your priorities. You see what truly matters. Clarity is painful, but it is honest. It shows you your strengths. It shows you your weaknesses. It shows you your path forward. When you rise from the bottom, you rise with purpose. Not because of luck. Not because of chance. Because you have learned. Remember the mantra. The bottom is not a curse. It is a classroom. For why the bottom is the true foundation. People chase shortcuts to the top. They try to avoid mistakes. They try to bypass pain. They fail. The bottom teaches lessons the top cannot. It teaches discipline. It teaches patience. It teaches resilience. Without falling, you cannot truly understand balance. Without struggle, you cannot respect success. Without hardship, you cannot value stability. Consider the stories of people who start at the bottom. A dancer who was told she would never perform professionally. A student who failed multiple exams but became an expert in his field. A worker overlooked for promotion who eventually led a company. All of them share one truth. They mastered the bottom before they reached the top. Balance is not luck. It is learned. It is earned. It is forged in moments when the world has pushed you down. 5. Action steps to harness the bottom. You cannot wait for comfort to grow. You cannot wait for easy paths. You must act in the chaos. Step 1. Accept your current position. Do not fight reality. Do not blame others. Step 2. Identify lessons. Every failure teaches something. Every rejection reveals a hidden path. Every setback is data for your next move. Step 3. Build your routine. Daily actions matter. Consistency matters more than talent. Small wins compound into unstoppable momentum. Step 4. Test your limits. Push past fear. Challenge what holds you back. You do not need approval to act. Step 5. Record progress. Write down what you learn. Review daily. This is how the bottom becomes a laboratory for your life. You have a choice. You can remain stuck, or you can rise. The choice is yours, but your time is limited. 6. Common mistakes people make at the bottom. Many treat the bottom as shame. Many treat it as a dead end. They waste energy resenting their position. Some people wait for permission to rise. Some people look for recognition. Some people pretend it is not happening. All of these choices delay growth. The bottom is not a trap. It is a teacher. Your job is to learn, adapt, and act. Remember, it is not about being unlucky. It is about discipline. It is not about failure. It is about mastery. 7. Mental shifts to embrace the bottom. Shift 1. Stop seeing failure as shame. Start seeing it as feedback. Shift 2. Stop fearing isolation. Start valuing reflection. Shift 3. Stop chasing applause. Start chasing growth. Shift 4. Stop seeking comfort. Start seeking clarity. These shifts rewire your mind. They prepare you for the top. They teach you balance no shortcuts can provide. 8. Stories of transformation from the bottom. Maria was overlooked in her job for years. She used every small task to improve. She learned the system. She learned patience. She learned discipline. By the time opportunity arrived, she was unstoppable. Tom was rejected by every team in his sport. He trained in secret, ignored criticism, and focused on fundamentals. He became a leader in his league, not because of talent alone, but because of mastery at the bottom. These examples show a pattern. The bottom is not failure. It is preparation. It is strategy. 9. The bottom teaches emotional balance. Being at the bottom forces you to face emotions. Anger, fear, shame, doubt. These are unavoidable. You cannot escape them. The bottom teaches you how to manage them. It teaches patience when life feels unfair. It teaches discipline when chaos surrounds you. It teaches calm when the world is loud. Emotional control is not given. It is earned in adversity. The bottom is the training ground. 10. Lessons to carry forward. The bottom is not a curse. It is a classroom. Humility is learned. Strength is forged. Clarity is revealed. Balance is mastered. You have a choice. You can waste this lesson, or you can rise with purpose. The true value of the bottom is what you do with it. Do not resist it. Do not resent it. Embrace it fully. Remember, the bottom is not a curse. It is a classroom. Chapter 5. Break the narrative they gave you. You were given a story about who you are, a story about your limits, a story that is not yours. They called you the quiet one, the weird one, the not good enough one. Maybe you believed it. Maybe you lived inside it. This is a trap. This is a prison. This is a story written by someone else. But here is the truth. Your story is yours now. You have a choice. You can break the narrative they gave you. That is the key. If you do not break it, it controls you. It dictates your decisions. It limits your actions. It steals your future. You cannot ask for permission. You cannot wait for approval. You cannot plead to be seen. You must take it back. 1. The power of labels. Labels are powerful. They seem harmless. They seem small. But they stick. They influence how you behave. They shape how the world sees you. A quiet one becomes invisible. A weird one becomes self-conscious. A not good enough one becomes timid. This is not weakness. This is conditioning. This is how society writes scripts for people. Every label is a leash. Every expectation is a chain. Every stereotype is a cage. You have a choice. You can wear the label, or you can shatter it. Shatter it by action. Shatter it by decisions. Shatter it by refusing to live in their version of your life. 2. Recognize the narrative. Step 1. See it. The story is not subtle. It shows up in your thoughts. I am not smart enough. I cannot do it. They will laugh at me. These are echoes of someone else's story. Your parents, your teachers, your peers. Step 2. Analyze it. Ask yourself, whose voice is this really? Does this define me, or did I absorb it? Step 3. Detach. Separate your self-worth from their opinions. Separate your path from their expectations. Separate your life from their judgment. Remember this phrase. Your story is yours now. Repeat it. Believe it. Live it. 3. The danger of believing other people's stories. Most people never succeed because they live other people's stories. They accept labels. They fit into molds. They shrink to avoid conflict. This creates quiet desperation. A life that is safe, predictable and unremarkable. They chase approval but never fulfillment. You have seen it. You have felt it. You have been warned. Believing other people's stories destroys initiative. It destroys creativity. It destroys courage. You cannot let this happen. You cannot outsource your identity. You cannot surrender your voice. This is why breaking the narrative is not optional. It is survival. It is growth. It is evolution. For how to rewrite your story. Step 1. Inventory your labels. Write them down. See them. Name them. Step 2. Question each one. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it mine? Step 3. Decide your new narrative. What do you want to be? How do you want to act? What life do you want to create? Step 4. Act in alignment. Do not wait for approval. Do not ask for permission. Start today. The bottom line. Your story changes the moment you take responsibility. Your story changes when your actions match your intentions. Your story changes when you stop entertaining their narrative. 5. Real-life transformations. Consider Maya. She was labeled awkward. She was told she would never lead. She could have accepted it. She did not. She practiced speaking up. She trained in leadership skills. She volunteered for projects nobody wanted. Today, she leads teams with confidence. She did not wait for recognition. She did not ask for approval. She rewrote her story. Or consider Jamal. He was told he would always be the slow learner. He believed it for years. Then he started reading, practicing, failing, learning. He surpassed every expectation. Every label he had was erased by action. Every narrative he was given became irrelevant. Your story can do the same. You have a choice. 6. The role of discipline in storytelling. Action is not enough. Discipline is required. Breaking the narrative is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice. It is repeated, consistent behavior. You must show up every day. You must act even when fear is loud. You must act even when doubt whispers. Discipline reinforces your new story. Discipline cements your identity. Discipline tells the world, silently, this is who I am now. Do not underestimate it. Every small choice, every repeated action, every habit builds your new narrative. The top of your pyramid is constructed brick by brick at the bottom. 7. Silence the critics, inside and outside. People will resist your new story. They will question. They will mock. They will try to pull you back into their narrative. You must ignore them. You must focus on your path. You must trust your process. Equally important, silence your inner critic. The voice that repeats their labels is not yours. It is borrowed. Discard it. Replace it with affirmations. Replace it with evidence of progress. Replace it with the truth. You are not them. You are you. Repeat. Your story is yours now. 8. Habits that reinforce your story. Your actions are proof. Your habits are your voice. Stop seeking approval. Start taking initiative. Stop comparing yourself. Start improving yourself. Stop shrinking to fit. Start expanding into your potential. Consistency matters. Discipline matters. Action matters. Your story will not change overnight, but daily repetition reshapes reality. You become what you repeatedly do. 9. Mindset shifts that cement your narrative. Shift 1. From victim to author. You are not defined by others. You are not trapped in their labels. Shift 2. From fear to courage. Every step outside their story is growth. Every risk is a page in your new narrative. Shift 3. From reaction to creation. Do not respond to their doubts. Create your own standards. Design your own path. This is how the bottom-up transformation occurs. This is how quiet rebellion becomes unstoppable growth. This is how you master your identity. 10. Common mistakes people make when rewriting their story. Some people quit too early. They try one action and wait for validation. Some people replace one label with another. They trade quiet for smart, but do not change their actions. Some people ignore the lessons from the bottom. They try to rise without learning balance, humility, or discipline. Avoid these traps. Break your narrative fully. Rewrite it entirely. Live it daily. Remember, it is not enough to think differently. It is not enough to dream. It is not enough to hope. Action and repetition create your reality. 11. The ultimate mantra. Repeat it daily. Your story is yours now. Say it aloud. Write it down. Act in alignment. Every time you feel doubt, repeat it. Every time fear arises, repeat it. Every time old labels try to control you, repeat it. Your story is not given. Your story is not borrowed. Your story is not inherited. It is yours. Claim it. Live it. Chapter 6. Respect your own pace. Your life is not a race. Your growth is not a test. Your path is not a copy of anyone else. The world loves speed. The world pushes rush. The world says move fast or you lose. But that idea is a lie. It is a trap. It is pressure with no purpose. Mastery is slow. Discipline is slow. True change is slow. Your pace is your power. That line matters. That line must sink in. Your pace is your power. You have a choice. You can chase speed. Or you can chase mastery. You can move fast for show. Or you can move slow for skill. That is the key. The world rewards shiny progress. Likes, views, claps, fast wins, quick results, short fame. But real power grows in silence. Real power grows in steady work. Real power grows in slow steps. Real power grows at your pace. Think about the people who last. Not the loud names. Not the quick stars. But the ones who stay strong for years. They won by patience. They won by reps. They won by slow growth. They won by respecting their own pace. They did not rush. They did not panic. They did not compare. They stayed with their path. They stayed with their work. They stayed with their pace. That is the difference. That is the truth. That is the secret many ignore. You need patience. You need space. You need time with your craft. You need time with your discipline. You need time with your growth. Your pace builds your power. The world pushes you to move fast. Move now. Move today. Move before you are ready. But that push is noise. It is fear. It is pressure that breaks your mind. Your pace is calm. Your pace is truth. Your pace is your real path. You must learn to respect that. You must learn to trust that. You must learn to honor that. Think about your own life. How many times did you rush? How many times did you panic? How many times did you copy others? How many times did you chase speed and lose depth? You saw someone win fast. You saw someone rise fast. You saw someone grow fast. You felt small. You felt slow. You felt weak. But you are not weak. You are building a different way. You are building a strong way. You are building the right way. Slow work builds strong roots. Slow practice builds real skill. Slow habits build real identity. This is the lesson most people skip. This is the wisdom most people ignore. This is the truth most people fear. They want fast credit, fast praise, fast reward. But the cost is high. The cracks appear. The fall begins. The rush collapses the work. That is why your pace is your power. You have a choice. You can rush and fall. Or you can rise slow and last. Think about a tree. A tree that grows fast is weak. A tree that grows slow is strong. It survives storms. It survives heat. It survives time. You are that tree. You need strong roots. You need slow layers. You need steady growth. You do not need speed. Speed is noise. Speed is risk. Speed is panic. Your pace is peace. Your pace is control. Your pace is strength. Many people fail because they rush the seed. They want fruit in one day. They want skill in 1 hour. They want mastery in 1 week. But life does not work like that. Mastery does not work like that. Identity does not work like that. You grow slow. You grow deep. You grow with reps. You grow with patience. Your pace is your power. Think about the gym. You do not lift one time and become strong. You lift small weight. You lift steady weight. You lift slow weight. Day by day. Rep by rep. Set by set. Growth is the same. No rush. No panic. Just reps. Daily reps. Small reps. Steady reps. That is the key. That is the truth. Now think about skill. Any skill. That's writing, focus, speaking, reading, leadership, discipline. All of them need time. All of them need rhythm. All of them need your pace. Your pace builds skill. Your pace builds confidence. Your pace builds control. The world will try to shame your pace. They will say you are slow. They will say you are late. They will say you are behind. But that is noise. That is fear in their voice. That is not your truth. Your truth is in the work. Your truth is in the reps. Your truth is in the slow rise. Many people quit because they rush. They want results fast. They want change fast. They want mastery fast. But mastery is not speed. Mastery is patience. Mastery is practice. Mastery is slow evolution. Mastery is respect for time. Mastery is trust in your pace. Your pace is your power. Hear that again. Your pace is your power. You can grow slow and win big. You can rise slow and stay strong. You can build slow and never break. Look at the people who last in life. They did not blow up. They built up. They built brick by brick. They built day by day. They built year by year. That is the path. That is the truth. That is the blueprint. Your pace is your power. I want you to feel this line. I want you to repeat this line. I want you to carry this line. Your pace protects you. Your pace shapes you. Your pace guides you. You have a choice. You can chase their timeline, or you can build your own. You can bow to their pressure, or you can rise with your pace. You must slow down inside. You must breathe. You must trust time. You must trust effort. Slow growth builds real confidence. Fast growth builds fear. Fast growth builds stress. Fast growth builds pressure. But slow growth builds patience. Slow growth builds identity. Slow growth builds belief. Your pace is your power. Look at your past. Look at your wins. Look at your losses. All of them came with time. None of them came with speed alone. Speed was never the key. Patience was. Patience opened doors. Patience built skill. Patience shaped your mind. Patience shaped your discipline. That is why your pace is power. That is why your pace matters. You are not late. You are not slow. You are not behind. You are growing. You are building. You are rising. This is your pace. This is your path. This is your power. The bottom taught you balance. But your pace will teach you mastery. Your pace will teach you control. Your pace will teach you depth. Slow work creates strong work. Slow steps create long steps. Slow rise creates true rise. Your pace is your power. Hold that line. Honor that line. Live that line. Now breathe. Feel your ground. Feel your center. Feel your pace. Because the next chapter will take you deeper. It will show you why the world tries to rush you. It will show you how noise steals your focus. It will show you how silence becomes strength. You learned your pace. Now you will learn your shield. Chapter 7. Your feelings matter, but they are not the driver. Your feelings are real. Your feelings are loud. Your feelings are powerful. But your feelings are not the driver. This is where many people fall. They let emotion speak. They let emotion choose. They let emotion lead. And when emotion leads, life breaks. You have a choice. You can feel everything and still lead yourself. That is the key. You are not here to erase emotion. You are here to direct emotion. Your feelings are a signal. Your feelings are not a command. Your feelings tell you what hurts. But your discipline tells you what to do next. When you wake up tired and your mind says rest, you still move. When someone speaks with anger and your body wants to react, you still breathe. When stress hits you and fear rises, you still choose the next step. Your feelings matter, but they are not the driver. You have been told something false for years. You have been told to trust your heart. You have been told to follow your emotions. You have been told to wait for the right mood. But here is the truth. Your mood is unstable. Your mood changes every hour. Your mood follows weather, stress, hunger, noise, and memories. Your mood is not a leader. Your mood is a mirror. That is why discipline wins. Discipline does not care about mood. Discipline does not care about fear. Discipline does not care about doubt. Discipline follows action. Discipline follows structure. Discipline follows truth. You feel the emotion, but you lead anyway. Say it with me. Feel it, but lead yourself anyway. Feel it, but lead yourself anyway. That is the rule. That is the anchor. That is your power. Let us break this down with real-life moments. Because this is not theory. This is daily life. This is your day. This is your mind. This is your pattern. You feel anger. But anger is not the driver. You feel fear. But fear is not the driver. You feel sadness. But sadness is not the driver. You feel stress. But stress is not the driver. You have a choice. Every time. Every single time. The old you reacts fast. The old you snaps. The old you avoids. The old you freezes. The old you listens to the loudest emotion in the room. The new you is different. The new you listens but does not obey. The new you pauses and chooses. The new you sees the emotion and still moves forward. Because the new you leads. The new you drives. The new you decides. There is a moment in every storm. A small moment. A quiet moment. A moment where the emotion is loud, but your will is louder. A moment where you feel everything, but you still stand up. That moment is where your life changes. That moment is where identity shifts. That moment is where discipline wins. Your emotions try to protect you. That is why they shout. But emotions protect comfort. Discipline protects growth. Comfort keeps you soft. Growth keeps you strong. You have a choice. Comfort or growth. Feelings or discipline. Storm or structure. Your mind is trained by what you repeat. If you repeat emotional choices, your emotions will rule you. If you repeat discipline choices, your emotions will follow you. That is the key. Your emotions do not disappear. They fall in line. They learn your rhythm. They learn your rules. They learn you. But only when you lead. Think about the last time you lost control. Your heart was fast. Your body was tense. Your thoughts were loud. And you reacted. You felt something, and you let that feeling drive you. And after it ended, you said the same words you always say. I should not have done that. I did not mean that. I did not want that. I lost myself. You did not lose yourself. You left yourself. You stepped out of the driver's seat and you let emotion take the wheel. You gave up the one thing that makes you powerful. But that is not you anymore. You are learning control. Not by force. Not by suppression. But by leadership. Real leadership begins inside you. You lead your thoughts. You lead your feelings. You lead your actions. Because you are the driver. Let us go deeper. You think your emotions tell the truth. But many emotions lie. Fear lies. Anger lies. Jealousy lies. Shame lies. Exhaustion lies. Self-doubt lies. They lie because they protect the past. They protect old wounds. They protect old stories. They protect old patterns. But you are not building an old life. You are building a new one. So you must lead yourself with truth, not emotion. Truth says you can grow. Truth says you can change. Truth says you are capable. Truth says you are ready. Truth says you can move. Truth says you can lead. You have a choice. Every time a feeling rises, you can choose truth. Every time a storm hits, you can choose action. Every time fear speaks, you can choose discipline. That is the key. Your feelings matter, but they are not the driver. Let me give you 3 real-world rules you can use today. Simple rules. Daily rules. Rules that keep you in the driver's seat. Rule 1. Name the feeling and break the spell. When you say the emotion out loud, the emotion loses force. Anger becomes smaller. Fear becomes softer. Stress becomes clearer. Say the words. I feel angry. I feel scared. I feel hurt. When you name it, you see it. When you see it, you lead it. Breathe before you act. The breath is the break. The breath is the pause. The breath is space. Emotion collapses space. Breathing restores it. One slow breath can stop a 2-hour mistake. One slow breath can stop a broken relationship. One slow breath can stop a bad choice. You have a choice. And your breath gives you that choice back. Rule 3. Choose action, not emotion. Action builds truth. Emotion builds stories. Emotion says stay in bed. Action says get up. Emotion says avoid the hard talk. Action says face it. Emotion says give up. Action says one more step. Feel it, but lead yourself anyway. That is your rule now. That is your anchor. That is your new identity. Because here is the truth. You can feel everything and still move. You can feel fear and still rise. You can feel doubt and still try. You can feel sadness and still build. You can feel stress and still succeed. That is strength. That is mastery. That is emotional discipline. You have been giving your feelings too much power. Not anymore. Now you know the truth. Your emotions are loud, but you are louder. Your emotions are strong, but you are stronger. Your emotions are fast, but you are steady. Your emotions matter, but they are not the driver. You are the driver. You always were. Now you are ready for the next layer. Because once you learn to lead yourself, you must learn to protect your internal world. You must learn what truly shapes your inner voice, your inner peace, and your inner strength. You mastered your emotions. Now, let us talk about the force that shapes your entire mental life. Chapter 8. Use rejection as redirection. You fear rejection. You hate it. You take it personal. You treat it like a final verdict. You act like rejection means something is wrong with you. But hear this clearly. Rejection is not a wall. Rejection is not an insult. Rejection is not a sign that you are broken. Rejection is movement. Rejection is direction. Rejection is redirection. That is the key. You have a choice. You can let rejection crush your identity, or you can let rejection sharpen your purpose. Most people do not understand this. Most people waste years begging for approval from people who will never clap for them. Most people chase rooms that do not want them. Most people run after hands that never reach back. Most people try to impress people who are not even watching. And that is why they stay stuck. That is why they stay small. That is why they never rise. You are different. You are here because you are ready to grow. You are here because you want to lead your life with discipline. You are here because you want to stop needing permission. You are here because you want to use every no as power, not poison. Rejection is redirection. Say it slowly. Say it clearly. Say it with authority. Rejection is redirection. It means the world is pushing you toward where you actually belong. It means the wrong door is closing, so the right door can open. It means your path is shifting, so your purpose can rise. It does not matter if the rejection came from a person. It does not matter if the rejection came from a job. It does not matter if the rejection came from life. You still have a choice. You can see rejection as a personal attack, or you can see rejection as a personal upgrade. That is the key. Example 1. A young man tries to join a company. He sends his resume everywhere. He sits in interviews. He waits for replies. He even follows up. But every time he receives the same message. We selected someone else. At first he breaks. He thinks he is not good enough. He thinks he is the problem. He thinks he is not smart. He thinks he is not worthy. But something inside him wakes up. He makes a new choice. He says, rejection is redirection. So he stops chasing jobs that do not see him. He learns a skill. He builds a small service. He starts with one client, then another, then one more. 3 years later, he hires the same company that rejected him. This is the power of redirection. Rejection shapes identity. Rejection forces clarity. Rejection forces reflection. Rejection forces evolution. You learn more from one no than from 50 empty yes. You grow more from one closed door than from 10 open windows. You become stronger when you stop begging for space in the wrong places. Rejection shows you who you are. Rejection shows you who you are not. Rejection shows you where you must go next. Most people hide after rejection. You cannot hide. You must rise. You must stand. You must lead yourself. Feel the pain. But use the pain. Do not allow emotions to take the wheel. Feel it, but lead yourself anyway. You have a choice. Some people reject you out of fear. Some reject you out of jealousy. Some reject you because they cannot handle your presence. Some reject you because they do not know your value yet. That is not your problem. That is not your delay. That is not your failure. You are not here to prove yourself to everyone. You are here to align with the people who match your path. And sometimes, that alignment begins with rejection. Example 2. A woman loves someone deeply. She gives effort. She gives time. She gives emotion. She gives loyalty. But he still chooses someone else. He still walks away. He still rejects her. She tells herself she is not enough. She believes she is less. She thinks something is wrong with her. But time shows the truth. The rejection saved her. The rejection protected her. The rejection pulled her away from a weak man. The rejection pushed her toward a future she could not see yet. She meets a partner who values her, who respects her, who sees her, who grows with her. Rejection is redirection. Boys, your ego hates rejection. Your growth needs it. Your ego wants comfort. Your ego wants applause. Your ego wants quick approval. But your growth wants friction. Your growth wants pressure. Your growth wants challenge. Your growth wants rejection. That is the key. Rejection breaks the ego. Rejection exposes the lies. Rejection removes the illusion. Your ego says, they rejected me, so I am useless. Your growth says, they rejected me, so I will rise. Your ego says, why me? Your growth says, Watch me. You have a choice. Lead with ego or lead with growth. Rejection builds discipline. Every rejection forces you back into your body, back into your mind, back into your skills, back into your path. Rejection makes you train harder. Rejection makes you study deeper. Rejection makes you move smarter. Rejection makes you value yourself more. Rejection teaches you that identity is internal, not external. Identity does not come from who accepts you. Identity comes from who you choose to become. You learn patience. You learn self-control. You learn emotional stability. You learn discipline. It is not about your fear. It is about your discipline. Why rejection hurts so much? Rejection hurts because you attach your worth to people. Rejection hurts because you expect too much from the world. Rejection hurts because you think acceptance equals value. Rejection hurts because you forget your own power. But pain is data. Pain is direction. Pain is instruction. Rejection is not breaking you. Rejection is building you. You feel like something is being taken away. But in truth, something is being returned to you. Your time, your energy, your dignity, your power. Rejection reminds you to stop chasing what is not yours. Rejection reminds you to stop forcing what does not fit. Rejection reminds you to stop shrinking to please others. You do not need their permission. You need your purpose. Example 3. A student fails an exam. He studies hard. He tries. He works late nights. But he still fails. He thinks it is over. He thinks the failure defines him. But something shifts. He sees the rejection as redirection. He changes his method. He changes his strategy. He asks for help. He trains the weak areas. He tries again. And he passes with high marks. Without the rejection, he would not improve. Without the rejection, he would not evolve. Without the rejection, he would not rise. Rejection is redirection. Boys, what you must do now. Stop trying to enter rooms that do not want you. Stop trying to gain approval from people who do not respect you. Stop trying to chase love that does not choose you. Stop trying to impress people who do not care. You have a choice. You can stay bitter, or you can get better. Move forward, not backward, not sideways. Forward. Here are your commands. Simple. Direct. Feel the rejection, but do not collapse. Your pain is real, but your strength is bigger. Ask this question. What is this rejection redirecting me toward? Sit with the answer. Write it down. Follow the path. 3. Remove your ego. Detach from expectations. Detach from validation. Detach from applause. 4. Act with discipline. Train daily. Build your skills. Stay consistent. Your progress will speak louder than any rejection. Respect your pace. Respect your path. Respect your evolution. The world may not see it yet, but your time is coming. Your story is not ending. Your story is expanding. Your story is redirecting itself. You have a choice. Stay stuck in the pain, or move forward with purpose. Rejection is redirection. It always has been, and it always will be. Now you are ready for the next step of your growth. Now you are ready to see the deeper truth behind your progress. Now you are ready to understand the silent power that shapes your life. Chapter 9. Stand tall when no one claps. You want strength. You want peace. You want inner power that no one can touch. Then hear this clearly. Your real rise begins in the moments no one sees. Your real growth begins in the moments no one celebrates. Your real confidence begins when the room is empty and the world is quiet. You think confidence comes from praise. But praise is a weak teacher. Praise is a fast high. Praise fades fast, and then you feel empty again. The world claps for a moment, then moves on, and you feel lost again. True confidence comes from something deeper. It comes from silent effort. It comes from quiet work. It comes from doing the right thing with no spotlight. It comes from choosing discipline when no one is watching. You have a choice. You can wait for applause, or you can build yourself. You can chase validation, or you can chase growth. You can rely on cheers, or you can rely on discipline. That is the key. The world will clap one day, but not today. Today is for building. Today is for shaping your mind. Today is for standing tall with no audience. Many people collapse without applause. They think silence means failure. They think lack of attention means lack of progress. But silence is not failure. Silence is the test. Silence is the filter. Silence is the arena where real character is formed. When things are quiet, your mind speaks louder. When no one claps, your truth stands clear. When no one asks about your progress, you finally see why discipline matters. You learn what you are made of. You learn what you can carry. You learn how to move without permission. You do not need their permission. You do not need their support. You do not need their applause. You need your discipline. You need your consistency. You need your fire. People fall because they expect rewards too soon. They expect results too fast. They expect the world to clap for effort instead of outcome. But the world does not clap for effort. The world claps for results. So your job is not to chase praise. Your job is to chase progress. Your job is to chase truth. Your job is to chase discipline. The strongest people in the world learned this early. They learned how to train alone. They learned how to work with no support. They learned how to keep going with no applause. Great dancers practice alone. Great athletes suffer alone. Great leaders rise alone. Great minds think alone. Great hearts heal alone. Alone does not mean weak. Alone means focused. Alone means awake. Alone means you are not distracted. Alone means you choose the path that others avoid. You have a choice. You can fear silence, or you can use it. You can fear being unseen, or you can build strength in it. You can fear slow progress, or you can trust your pace. Your pace is your power. Your silence is your training ground. Your unseen effort is your foundation. Look back at your life. Think about the moments you grew the most. Think about the moments that changed you. They were not easy moments. They were not celebrated moments. They were lonely moments. They were silent moments. They were fearful moments. But you survived. You learned. You stood tall. And that is the key. Resilience grows in silence. Belief grows in silence. Discipline grows in silence. Strength grows in silence. So stop fearing silence. Step into it. Claim it. Use it. Build inside it. Your biggest wins will happen long before anyone knows your name. Your biggest shifts will happen long before anyone sees your effort. Your biggest transformations will happen long before anyone claps. That is why you must train your mind to keep going with no praise. No praise today. No praise tomorrow. Still move. Still act. Still grow. You do not need applause to rise. Repeat that again. You do not need applause to rise. One more time. You do not need applause to rise. Most people quit because they misunderstand silence. They think silence means failure. They think silence means weakness. They think silence means nothing is working. But silence does not mean nothing is happening. Silence means everything is happening, but inside you. Inside your mind. Inside your habits. Inside your discipline, the world claps after the transformation, not during it. So your work is to stay patient, stay steady, stay grounded, stay true to your path. You must stop performing for attention. You must start performing for your future. You must stop chasing applause. You must start chasing alignment. You must stop asking for validation. You must start respecting your own work. This is how you stand tall. This is how you build real confidence. Confidence that does not shake. Confidence that does not break. Confidence that does not depend on the mood of the crowd. The crowd is not loyal. The crowd changes every day. The crowd supports you when you win and ignores you when you lose. So never build your identity on applause. Build it on self-respect. Build it on discipline. Build it on truth. You have a choice. You can build for empty eyes, or you can build for your own soul. You can work for claps, or you can work for clarity. You can live for approval, or you can live for purpose. You are the one who decides. That is the key. Let us speak clearly now. Your life will not change because people clap. Your life will change because you act. Your life will not change because people say nice words. Your life will change because you build real habits. Your life will not change because the world likes you. Your life will change because you respect your own path. Standing tall means you stop bending for approval. Standing tall means you stop shrinking for comfort. Standing tall means you stop hiding your effort. Standing tall means you stop apologizing for growth. Standing tall means you show up even when no one notices. Many people collapse because they want instant results. But instant results are fake. Instant results are shallow. Instant results do not last. You want deep results. You want real results. You want results that stay with you. Those results come from slow, quiet, steady work. Those results come from doing the same small things every single day. Those results come from trusting the process you built, not the applause you want. Discipline is your real teacher. Discipline is your real friend. Discipline is your real power. It will guide you in silence. It will push you in silence. It will shape you in silence. So do not wait for motivation. Motivation is loud, but it is weak. Discipline is quiet, but it is powerful. That is the key. Practice this today. Sit with your silence. Sit with your fear. Sit with your doubt. And keep moving. Keep acting. Keep rising. Tell yourself, I rise without applause. Tell yourself, I grow without attention. Tell yourself, I win without noise. Then act like it. Walk like it. Train like it. Live like it. Because that is how you build a mind that no one can shake. That is how you build a heart that no one can break. That is how you build a life that no one can stop. And once you master this silent strength, you become a different person. You become grounded. You become stable. You become trusted. You become respected. Not because of applause, but because of who you are. When you stand tall with no audience, you build a core that never collapses. You build a center that never shakes. You build a soul that stands firm. That is the true mark of growth. That is the true mark of mastery. That is the true mark of a person who rises for real. You have learned how to stand tall when the world is silent. Now it is time to learn how to carry your power into the next stage of your rise. Chapter 10. Turn discipline into identity. Your life changes when discipline stops being an act and becomes a part of you. That is the truth. That is the shift. That is the moment everything turns. Most people treat discipline like a tool. They pick it up. They drop it. They use it only when life hurts. They use it only when fear rises. They use it only when someone pushes them. But that is why their life never moves. That is why their confidence never grows. That is why they keep starting over. Discipline cannot be a short moment. Discipline cannot be a temporary mood. Discipline must become your identity. Because identity, not motivation, creates your future. You have heard this before. You have felt this before. But now, you will understand it in a deeper way. Identity controls action. Action shapes destiny. This is the core lesson. This is the key. This is what most people never learn. People say they want to change. They say they want focus. They say they want consistency. But they still call themselves lazy. They still call themselves weak. They still call themselves undisciplined. They still repeat the same story inside their mind. And here is the truth. You will always act like the person you believe you are. That belief runs your choices. That belief runs your habits. That belief runs your life. So if your identity stays weak, your actions stay weak. If your identity stays fearful, your actions stay fearful. If your identity stays tired, your actions stay tired. But when discipline becomes identity, everything changes. Your perspective changes. Your energy changes. Your decisions change. Your entire life direction changes. This shift is not luck. This shift is not magic. This shift is a choice. The first step, call yourself disciplined. Say it. See it. Believe it. Live it. You are not pretending. You are training your mind. Your identity listens to your words. Your identity follows your behavior. Your identity grows through repetition. So when you stand up and say, I am disciplined, you are not lying. You are declaring the kind of person you expect yourself to be. That is the beginning. That is the foundation. That is the seed that grows into new strength. Most people wait for discipline to appear. But discipline does not arrive. Discipline is built. Discipline is shaped. Discipline is earned through every small action. Your identity is formed the same way. Slow, steady, daily. Discipline becomes identity through repetition. This is the rule. This is how you transform yourself. Every time you wake up on time, your identity grows. Every time you train, your identity grows. Every time you say no to a distraction, your identity grows. Every time you push through discomfort, your identity grows. You do not need a big change. You need consistent small changes. Because small changes stack. Small changes mold. Small changes create a permanent shift. You become what you repeatedly do. That is the system. That is the law. That is the power you hold. Most people lose discipline because they chase intensity, not identity. They try to change everything in one day. They try to fix their whole life with one burst of energy. They sprint. They burn out. They quit. You do not need intensity. You need consistency. You need patience. You need simple, repeatable actions. That is where identity forms. That is where discipline grows. Stop trying to be perfect. Start trying to be consistent. That is the difference between temporary confidence and permanent strength. Identity removes the need for motivation. Hear this clearly. Feel this deeply. Let this settle inside you. Motivation rises. Motivation falls. Motivation is unstable. Motivation is emotional. Identity does not move like that. Identity stays steady. Identity stays calm. Identity stays firm. When you become a disciplined person, you do not need motivation. You do not wait for a feeling. You act because action is part of you. You act because discipline is who you are. That is the power. That is the freedom. That is the new life you earn. When discipline becomes identity, You do not fight yourself anymore. You flow. You move. You progress. You grow without force. Identity gives you self-respect. This is the part most people never understand. Every disciplined action builds self-respect. Every consistent day builds self-worth. Every promise you keep builds inner strength. You trust yourself more. You believe in yourself more. You stand taller. You think clearer. You move with purpose. Self-respect is not a speech. Self-respect is not a thought. Self-respect is a lifestyle. You earn it through your discipline. You reinforce it with your behavior. You protect it with your choices. When discipline becomes identity, self-respect becomes natural. You do not beg for approval. You do not chase validation. You do not shrink yourself for anyone. You live aligned with your standards. You live aligned with your purpose. That is real confidence. Not noise. Not ego. Not pretending. Actual confidence. Built from discipline. Built from self-respect. Built from identity. Identity determines your circle. When discipline becomes who you are, you stop tolerating the wrong people. You stop chasing weak relationships. You stop supporting fake friendships. You stop giving energy to chaotic minds. You choose better. You choose wiser. You choose people who grow, not people who complain. You choose people who move, not people who stay stuck. Because identity recognizes identity. Disciplined people see each other. Disciplined people connect with each other. Disciplined people build with each other. Your identity will pull you toward a stronger environment. That environment will push you toward a stronger life. Identity gives you long-term direction. When you become a disciplined person, your decisions change. Your priorities shift. Your habits clean up. Your path becomes clear. You stop chasing shortcuts. You stop searching for easy ways. You stop fighting your reality. You build. You grow. You stay committed. You stay intentional. You understand that the goal is not speed. The goal is alignment. The goal is growth. The goal is becoming the person you choose to be. That is why identity matters. Because identity guides your future. Identity shapes your outcomes. Identity creates the person you finally respect. The transformation, from discipline as a task to discipline as a personality. This is the shift you make now. This is the turning point. This is the evolution your life needs. Discipline is not something you do. Discipline is someone you become. You eat like a disciplined person. You move like a disciplined person. You speak like a disciplined person. You work like a disciplined person. You think like a disciplined person. You protect your time like a disciplined person. And eventually, it becomes natural, automatic, effortless. Because discipline moves from behavior to identity, from action to instinct, from habit to character. That is the real transformation. That is the real strength. That is the real breakthrough. You have a choice. You can return to old stories. You can wait for motivation. You can depend on emotion. You can chase validation. Or you can build a new identity. You can commit to self-respect. You can live with discipline. You can rise through consistency. This is the decision that shapes everything. Your success begins here. Your transformation begins here. Your new identity begins here. Discipline is who you become. Repeat that. Feel that. Live that. Build that. This is the chapter that decides the rest of your life. Because identity is permanent. Identity is powerful. Identity is the real engine behind every victory you will ever earn. Chapter 11. Do not lose yourself trying to keep everyone else. You have only one life. You have only one energy. You cannot pour yourself into people who drain you. You cannot survive by living for everyone else. That is a trap. That is a lie the world sells. And it is deadly if you believe it. You have a choice. You choose your boundaries. You choose your battles. You choose who deserves your time and attention. That is power. That is control. That is freedom. Most people waste years trying to fit into someone else's expectation. They bend themselves. They compromise their joy. They silence their voice. And for what? A fleeting nod? A hollow smile? A temporary acceptance? That is not living. That is surviving. You are not meant to survive. You are meant to thrive. Listen closely. Save yourself first. That is the mantra of this chapter. Save yourself first. Repeat it in your mind. Let it echo in your actions. Let it guide your decisions. Why you lose yourself? We lose ourselves for many reasons. Some people crave approval. Some fear conflict. Some think caring too much is love. The truth is simple. Caring without limits is self-destruction. Caring should never erase your identity. Caring should never compromise your values. Caring should never prevent your growth. The world will ask too much. Friends will demand more than you can give. Family will push their timelines on you. Work will drain your energy. Social expectations will weigh on your shoulders. If you do not guard your boundaries, you will break. If you do not protect your mind, you will bend. If you do not prioritize your growth, you will stagnate. You have a choice. You do not need to say yes to every demand. That is the key. You do not need their permission to protect yourself. That is freedom. You do not need to justify your limits. That is discipline. The cost of people who drain you. Let us talk plainly. There are people who take and never give. There are relationships built on expectation and obligation. There are friendships that feel like chains. And there are toxic connections disguised as loyalty. If you let these people stay in your life unchecked, here is what happens. Your time is stolen. You cannot focus on your goals. You cannot work on your craft. You cannot evolve into the person you are meant to be. Your energy is siphoned. You feel tired before your day even begins. You feel anxious in your own space. You feel exhausted just thinking about obligations that are not yours. Your identity blurs. You begin to prioritize others over yourself. You mirror their moods. You absorb their drama. You lose the clarity that once defined you. Every second you spend sustaining someone else's comfort is a second stolen from your own life. Every yes to someone else is a no to yourself. Every compromise without choice is a step backward. You have a choice. Reclaim your time. Reclaim your energy. Reclaim your life. That is the discipline of survival. That is the discipline of growth. That is the discipline of mastery. Emotional boundaries are non-negotiable. Boundaries are not selfish. Boundaries are strength. Boundaries are the walls that protect your growth. You cannot build a skyscraper without a solid foundation. Your mind is your foundation. Your energy is your foundation. Your values are your foundation. Protect them. Emotional boundaries are simple but often ignored. They are rules for how you allow others to treat you. They are limits on what you accept in your life. They are clarity about what belongs to you and what does not. Here is a principle you must adopt. Other people's emotions are not your responsibility. Their anger, disappointment, or judgment is theirs to carry. Do not take it on. Do not absorb it. Do not let it define your day or derail your progress. You have a choice. You can say no without guilt. You can step away without apology. You can protect yourself without shame. That is the key. That is the lesson. That is the path to transformation. Practical steps to protect yourself. Now let us get practical. How do you save yourself first? How do you protect your energy and your life without burning bridges unnecessarily? Audit your relationships. Make a list. Who drains you? Who elevates you? Who is neutral? Be honest. Identify patterns. Remove or limit contact with people who consistently take without giving. Define your limits. Decide what you will tolerate. Decide what behaviors you will not accept. Decide how much time, energy, and attention you can give. Write it down. Repeat it every morning. Remind yourself, this is your boundary. This is your power. Practice saying no. Do not over-explain. Do not apologize unnecessarily. A firm no is a declaration of self-respect. A firm no is a teaching moment for others about how to treat you. A firm no is the first step in reclaiming your life. Prioritize your growth. Invest in yourself. Spend your time on projects that matter. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, support you, and inspire you. Protect your focus as if your life depends on it, because it does. Reflect daily. Journal or think every night. Did you give too much energy today? Did someone drain you unnecessarily? Did you compromise yourself? Use these reflections to adjust tomorrow. Growth is iterative. Discipline is habitual. Identity is earned. Real-life examples. Consider the story of Maya. She was a top performer at work but constantly exhausted. She tried to help everyone. She said yes to every request. She said yes to every expectation. She lost herself. One day, she realized her energy was gone. She was depleted. She was unhappy. She made a change. She set limits. She stopped saying yes to unnecessary requests. She focused on her priorities. Her productivity soared. Her confidence returned. Her relationships improved. Maya reclaimed her life because she decided to protect herself first. Or think about Jordan. He was in a friendship that demanded constant emotional labor. He gave, and gave. He felt unseen. He felt unappreciated. He felt trapped. He decided to distance himself. He focused on people who elevated him. He prioritized his own goals. He became stronger. He became more self-aware. He became unstoppable. Both Maya and Jordan prove this truth. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot rise for others without rising for yourself. You cannot protect everyone else without protecting yourself. The mental shift you must make. Now internalize this. Emotional boundaries are non-negotiable. Self-preservation is not selfish. Discipline includes your energy. Discipline includes your attention. Discipline includes your mind. Here is the shift you must make. Your value is not measured by how much you sacrifice for others. Your worth is measured by how much you honor yourself while being kind. You have a choice. You choose your circle. You choose your energy. You choose your limits. You choose your life. That is the difference between people who fade and people who dominate. That is the difference between surviving and thriving. That is the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. Repetition. Save yourself first. Save your time first. Save your energy first. Let it resonate. Let it guide you. Let it transform your actions. Common obstacles and how to overcome them. Obstacle 1. Guilt. You feel guilty for setting limits. You feel guilty for saying no. You feel guilty for prioritizing yourself. This is natural. Recognize it. Feel it. Then act anyway. Discipline is doing what is right, not what is easy. Obstacle 2. Fear. Fear of losing people. Fear of judgment. Fear of conflict. Accept that some relationships will end. Accept that some people will be upset. Accept that growth requires courage. Fear is a test. Pass it. Obstacle 3. Habit. Old patterns die hard. You have been giving too much for years. Your instinct is to say yes automatically. You must retrain your habits. Practice boundaries daily. Repeat them until they become second nature. Daily rituals to save yourself. Morning intention. Every morning remind yourself, I save myself first today. I protect my energy. I protect my time. I protect my mind. Energy check-ins. Twice a day, pause. Assess your energy. Are you being drained unnecessarily? Are you overextending? Adjust accordingly. Evening reflection. Every night, review your day. Where did you honor yourself? Where did you give too much? Grow. These rituals are simple. They are powerful. They are transformative. They build resilience. They build discipline. They build identity. The core takeaway. This chapter is simple. The lesson is powerful. The mantra is clear. Save yourself first. Protect your energy. Protect your boundaries. Protect your identity. Do not bend for approval. Do not sacrifice your growth for others. Do not dilute your power to make someone else comfortable. You have a choice. You do not need permission. You do not need validation. You do not need to overextend. You only need discipline. You only need clarity. You only need courage. Save yourself first. Repeat it. Live it. Breathe it. Let it define your next move. Let it fuel your transformation. Let it create the unstoppable person you are meant to be. The people, the situations, the opinions you release are not losses. They are liberation. They are freedom. They are space for you to become more. The more you protect yourself, the more unstoppable you become. The more you honor yourself, the more others will respect you. The more you choose yourself, the more aligned your life becomes. Chapter 12. Become the star of your own life. You are not a background character. You are not an extra in someone else's story. You are the lead. That is not a suggestion. That is a command. The life you live is yours. The time you have is yours. The power you hold is yours. For too long, you may have followed scripts written by others. You may have performed roles assigned to you. You may have acted to please, to avoid conflict, to earn approval. That stops today. You have a choice. You are the lead. Act like it. Claim your ownership. Ownership is the first step. You cannot star in your own life if you hand the script to others. Ownership means you decide your priorities. Ownership means you take full responsibility for your actions. Ownership means you do not blame circumstances, people, or luck for where you are. Many people wait for a sign. They wait for permission. They wait for someone to notice them. That is weakness. That is fear. That is surrender. You do not need permission to live your life fully. You do not need validation to pursue your goals. You do not need approval to act boldly. You have a choice. You own your story. That is the key. Take control of your morning. Take control of your schedule. Take control of your decisions. Small acts of ownership build unstoppable momentum. Start with what you can control today. Start with your thoughts, your focus, your actions. Begin immediately. Every moment you delay, you perform someone else's story. Every moment you wait, you weaken your lead. Clarity is your compass. Once you claim ownership, clarity becomes essential. You cannot navigate life blindly. You cannot rise without a clear direction. Clarity is knowing what matters. Clarity is knowing what does not. Clarity is deciding your goals, values, and standards, and refusing to compromise them. Ask yourself, What do you want? Who do you want to become? What actions serve your vision? Every choice should answer these questions. If it does not, reject it. If it does not, eliminate it. If it does not, it is distraction. Clarity also protects your energy. When your purpose is clear, people, opinions, and situations that do not align fall away naturally. You do not need to force people out. You do not need to explain yourself. You simply move forward. You simply act in alignment with your own lead role. Repetition, your clarity defines your path. Your clarity protects your power. Your clarity fuels your courage. Let it echo in every decision. Let it guide every action. Let it transform your life from chaotic to purposeful. Courage is non-negotiable. Ownership and clarity are not enough without courage. Courage is the muscle that allows you to perform on your own stage. Courage is acting even when people doubt you. Courage is speaking even when it feels uncomfortable. Courage is moving forward even when fear whispers, "You cannot." You will face resistance. You will face judgment. You will face mockery. That is part of stepping into the lead role. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is taking action in spite of it. Courage is embracing risk as fuel, not obstacle. Real-life examples show us the impact of courage. Think of someone who left a safe job to follow their dream. Think of someone who spoke their truth in a room full of doubters. Think of someone who chose growth over comfort. Their courage rewrote their story. Their courage elevated them from background to lead. Their courage proves what is possible. You have a choice. Boldly step into your lead role. Do not shrink. Do not hesitate. Do not perform for anyone but yourself. That is the key. That is the transformation. Transform habits into star power. Becoming the lead requires daily discipline. Habits are the unseen scripts that dictate your performance. Habits create identity. Habits build reputation. Habits shape destiny. Start with small wins. Start with consistent action. Start with routines that support your vision. Do not wait for motivation. Do not wait for inspiration. Discipline is your engine. Discipline is your spotlight. Discipline is your ticket to starring in your own life. Every morning, repeat your mantra, "I am the lead. I act like it." Every evening, reflect, "Did my actions honor my role today? Did I invest my energy wisely? Did I prioritize myself and my growth?" Adjust. Improve. Iterate. This is how leads become legends. This is how ordinary lives transform into extraordinary stories. Stop seeking approval. The stage is yours. But only if you stop seeking applause. Seeking approval is a trap. Seeking applause is a distraction. Seeking validation from others is the fastest way to become an extra again. You do not need their applause. You do not need their recognition. You do not need their understanding. Your role is your responsibility. Your story is your creation. Your focus is your power. Repetition. You do not need permission. You do not need applause. You do not need approval. You lead. You act. You own. Let these words anchor you in every situation. Let them be your armor against doubt, distraction, and discouragement. Realign relationships. As you step into your lead role, your relationships will shift. Some people will cheer. Some people will resist. Some people will leave. That is natural. That is necessary. You cannot star in your life if you carry people who limit your growth. You cannot shine if you are weighed down by doubt or negativity. Reassess your circle. Align with those who elevate you. Distance from those who drain you. Protect your energy. Protect your focus. Protect your identity. This is not selfishness. This is strategic leadership. The people around you reflect your level of commitment to yourself. Choose wisely. Choose boldly. Choose those who allow you to perform on your stage without interference. Led with vision. A lead role is not just about action. It is about vision. It is about direction. It is about influence. When you take control, your vision becomes a guiding light. It shapes your choices. It shapes your habits. It shapes the people who align with you. Write down your vision. Review it daily. Adjust when necessary. Use it to measure every opportunity, every challenge, and every decision. Your vision is the script of your life. Follow it. Respect it. Live it. Without vision, leads wander. Without vision, leads follow scripts written by others. Without vision, leads become background characters again. Vision is power. Vision is clarity. Vision is the difference between surviving and thriving. Embrace the spotlight. Being the lead comes with responsibility. Being the lead comes with pressure. Being the lead comes with moments of discomfort. That is exactly why it transforms you. Embrace it. Step fully into it. Accept the challenge. Accept the scrutiny. Accept the loneliness that sometimes comes with growth. That is how stars are made. That is how legends rise. That is how your transformation is cemented. Repetition. You are the lead. You embrace your role. You perform with courage. You act with discipline. You thrive in your spotlight. Let these truths guide every day. Let them define every choice. Let them fuel every step forward. The final mantra. This is the essence of the chapter and the book itself. You are the lead. Act like it. Repeat it daily. Live it fully. Make decisions that honor your role. Reject distractions. Reject doubt. Reject anyone or anything that keeps you small. Everything you learned in this journey leads to this point. From stopping waiting for permission, to transforming your discipline into identity, to reclaiming your energy and boundaries, it all converges here. You are no longer a supporting character. You are no longer waiting for cues. You are not reacting to the world. You are creating your world. Actionable steps for transformation. Daily ownership. Take full responsibility for your choices. Reflect every night on your decisions. Adjust and improve. Clarity practices. Define what matters most. Align your actions with your priorities. Eliminate distractions that dilute your story. Courageous actions. Step into situations that challenge you. Speak your truth. Act decisively. Take risks that grow your influence. Discipline habits. Build routines that reinforce your role. Morning rituals. Evening reflections. Consistent action. Small wins compound into massive results. Strategic relationships. Surround yourself with those who elevate you. Distance yourself from energy-draining people. Protect your time, energy, and focus. Vision alignment. Write your vision. Revisit it often. Let it guide your daily choices. Make your life intentional. Make your story unstoppable. The closing thought. You are no longer a passive observer. You are not reacting. You are not waiting. You are acting. You are intentional. You are unstoppable. From today, your identity is your compass. Your discipline is your engine. Your courage is your wings. Your choices are your power. You are the lead. Act like it. Do not perform for the world. Do not shrink. Do not apologize for your light. Step into your story. Own it. Live it. Dominate it. This is your life. You are the star. You are the lead. You are unstoppable.